and welcome to yet another beautiful episode of Podcast by Buddha. As I always wanted to have a first-time pet owner into this podcast, today is the day. I would say we have an interesting personality who was not very friendly with pets, never had a pet, suddenly decides to get a pet for a very valid reason. That's it I want to speak to you about. Rest, let's hear it from our esteemed guest, Tulika herself. All right, so welcome Tulika, welcome to the studios, welcome to Podcast by Buddha. It's an honor. Thank you so much for taking time. Before we speak about the amazing Kobe and your experience, we would love to know a little bit more about you.
First of all, thank you so much for having me over here today. It's my pleasure, absolutely my pleasure, actually. So my name is Tulika and I am a life coach, as Buddha is a life coach for, I can say, for animals and human too. But yeah, I also, and that is the reason actually I connect with Buddha quite well. So a bit about myself. It's been 18 years. Me in Dubai. So I have 2 boys and only 1 husband. So that's okay.
Lucky you.
Is it? Okay. All my friends actually make fun of me that I am the only lady in my house. And when I brought the dog also, so he's also male. So I'm a lady with all the males around.
Wow.
And I don't know it's wow or not, but yeah, it's definitely difficult. And there where the life coaching skills comes in, actually.
So you keep coaching yourself.
Much needed.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, have you ever had a pet before, or this is?
Oh, no. Kobe is the first time. We are a first time pet owner, me, my husband, both. And to your surprise, or anyone else's surprise, actually, I was quite afraid of dogs. I have been bitten twice when I was growing up.
Okay.
So it was a brave decision, I can say that. Today I see it that it was much needed at that particular time. But when I see in the hindsight, I felt that I got Kobe for all the wrong reasons to say. I just had Kobe because my children wanted to have it. And without facing my fear, actually I took that decision. So my journey was a bit difficult or different than whatever you might have heard before.
Absolutely.
But having said that, I don't want to change anything about it because that has made me as a parent of Kobe what I am today, and that was a journey I wanted to actually have it while going through a first-time pet owner thing.
Great, and that's very interesting. You already answered that, but my next obvious question was, when you were so afraid of animals, especially a dog, and you've had instances twice in your life, what made you take that brave decision of getting one yourself? But you answered it yourself. Your children wanted it, and you wanted to face your fears, the fear of being around
Dogs.
a dog.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why you pushed yourself to face that fear?
See, as I told you that I'm a life coach, and that time I was in the process of getting my license and all. So I was actually working on myself and seeing my children wanted to have it. I'm still saying it. Anyone who is looking for a pet, that is not the right reason to go for a pet. But it just happened to me that I felt it. Everyone is ready and everyone wants it. Just because of my fear. I'm coming in the way of I don't know, that time it does look like a dream, but it was not. So I think that was one of the reasons. At the same time, I really wanted to face my fear because that was something actually, even today, I would say that it's not gone 100%. I'm very comfortable with my dog, but having said that, if I'll have a massive dogs around me, I might not be that comfortable. It's like something I really wanted to work on myself, and I felt it that it might help me to do that.
Reach that stage.
Yeah, but it was mostly I just took a decision because, and it just happened, John, that I was in the process, and I've just told someone who's very friendly with dogs and who has a good experience, one of my friend, and I never realized that I will the day I will decide that I'm okay to have a pet dog, and within a week I will have one.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought it's gonna take time, but
Time,
it just
okay.
happened, and it happened very quickly.
So
And
were you decided already to have what kind of a puppy, what breed, or where to get it from? All that was, as in I see you laughing.
I mean, yeah, I had no idea about breeds. I have only heard about golden retriever only because my friend has one that, and
Okay.
and we just asked him that please, will you be able to assist us in this process, because we don't, as a family, we don't have much idea. Kids do used to throw some names about some
Yeah,
breeds,
yeah,
but
yeah.
all alien to me.
Okay.
In the world of Google and all, I didn't even Google that.
Okay.
I really don't know why. But we had a full faith on that friend, because he was grown up with the dogs, and he had dog at his place. So it just happened that there was a dog for adoption near to my house.
Oh, okay.
And he mentioned that I've checked the breed. The breed looks fine. Would you like to visit? I said, yeah, why not? I mean, let's give it a try. And it just happened. We went there, and my kids were like fallen in love
They
with the
liked it.
dog,
Okay.
like
Wow.
they say, even they say that way. And then and there we decided, without knowing any breed, without anything, just I rely on my friend, and I went for that.
Okay, so while you picking up your first pet, you did not even know what breed it is.
No.
Perfect. Okay, fair enough. Cut to when Kobe, when your first pet reached home. How was the entire ambience that time?
I will again say that I think I've gone for that time. It looks like a brave decision, but I would not suggest anyone to go for that. The day we brought Kobe, actually, the first thing we did, we actually took him. He was 3 months old. We took
Okay.
him to a vet straight from that, and because he was not
Vaccinated, okay.
vaccinated and all. The vet was everything was fine. We did the vaccination and all. He just told me one thing, that is going to be a large dog.
It's going to be a large dog.
Yeah, I said, how large, how big? But because he was quite, I mean, just
Tiny
3
and
months,
that
yeah.
kind, yeah, okay.
So no, it's going to be a pretty good big dog. I said, wow, what? I was
Not
not
ready for
prepared
this.
for, yeah, I was not
Okay.
ready for that. Having said that, my husband and everything, I think the support they have showed. I said, okay, let's go for it. Even that time, I didn't know that what I am getting into. He was very calm, very composed all his way, while even at pet's place. The time he enters my house, he burst into the energy. He was just paddling here and there. He was doing pee. He was just running around, and I didn't handle it that well.
Okay.
And I put myself inside my bedroom, and I said, I don't think so.
This is working out.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So that was the first initial reaction, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
And how was the family getting accustomed?
So the children were actually very supportive. My eldest son told me that tonight I'm going to take care of him.
Okay.
My younger son sat with me, husband sat with me, and said that, see, we got him. Okay, now his family is responsibility. Now we have to see that we are going to take care of him, so that you are also comfortable. And at that time only we decided that I think we definitely need a professional help as soon as possible to get into, because we were not going to give up on him for sure.
Wow, wonderful.
So yeah, that was the first. I mean, the first night we had the meeting, and they told all of them actually told me that we are there. You don't worry about that. It's easy said and done.
Yes.
Because I was the one who was staying with him for the longer period of time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. But initially itself, it was decided that you need professional help.
Yeah. Very,
Okay.
very clearly.
So
very
then
clearly.
what was next?
So I called few of my friends who actually had dogs, and even in the veterinary they have actually suggested one dog trainer, and we went with. I spoke to him, and he said that I can come tomorrow and I'll just have a look, because you're a first time dog owner. So I just wanted to see the behavior of the dog, and I'll let you know if that is a right
Working.
decision or not.
Yeah.
So he came, he actually checked, and he said there is a very trainable dog, and it's just that because you guys are the first time pet owner, you need to put a lot of effort,
Efforts,
and
yeah.
that is not going to change for any breed or
Yeah.
anything. I mean, big or small, dog
The
is
same
a dog.
process.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So how did that training go? As in, did it help you come out of your fear or make the dog more comfortable, or did it show you any signs of
So the first
progress?
thing he did actually is worked on my fear, because that was, I think, a roadblock in the process of me handling Kobe well, actually.
Okay.
So the first thing he did that to make me comfortable with the dog, because I was actually quite afraid of
Okay.
even to pat him and all that. I was
Oh,
not very
okay.
comfortable. Uh, so I think couple of months was me actually making more comfortable around that dog. Not just dog, he actually brought couple of his dog also, just to, and his dog is a pup. I mean the small. I don't even I don't
No,
know
no, the breed.
breed.
Okay, no worries. Yes.
So I think that worked well in the process. And Kobe was a bit anxious dog initially.
Okay.
So, and I really don't know, it's because he was, or maybe because now I feel as a life coach that my anxiety also he used to pick up,
Oh,
because
yes.
I was not that confident, I was not that comfortable, and that actually the energy he was picking up, and the way he was acting it. He's a absolutely different I mean, a breed right now because of my confidence and the way I am handling it.
Maybe yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as a life coach, that's what even I feel that, and that was a challenge for us as a family.
Okay.
Our first time pet owner. But I would say I think the continuous effort from all of us initially, and the commitment and consistency to the process. Even today, actually, I do look for, whenever I feel that there is a change in behavior or something is happening, I do look for professional help, and I know where to go.
Wow. So
Yeah.
building on to that point, I would love to know, how did you reach Buddha land? How did you approach, or what made you reach Buddha?
So I had a very good friend who actually we both adopted a dog at similar time, and I was taking a training from someone else, and she has introduced me to Buddha actually.
Oh, okay.
It just happened that I think after a year my trainer was out of the country, and I felt it that there is a change which is happening with Kobe.
Okay.
And we were in the process of training actually, and that time I actually contacted Buddha.
Wow.
And yeah, I remember the first time when Buddha came in, and his persona was very different than what my earlier trainer was there, and even the tools what he comes up was a bit different than the other one.
Okay.
So yeah, I think from there it all started, and even today, I think whenever even today, if I feel that there is some change happening, or even I feel that I think this is I'm not able to understand, I either call him. He's so, I mean, I would say he generally picks up the call,
Wow.
otherwise he returns the call.
We'll speak about that.
It's a common command which I get.
But I keep comfort trainings in bit, and to understand, just for me, it is important that for me, Kobe's safety is very important, and
Yeah,
I
of
know
course.
that he will be safe when he knows, when I'll be able to handle him well.
Correct.
So if any changes is happening, or if I feel that this is something I'm not able to handle it, I do comfort trainings even today.
Great. Over to you, Buddha, as in this is a very classic case. First time dog owner. Not even knowing the breed, the dog is in a new house, and it's already undergone a few sessions with some others, and then this dog is with you. How do you see this? How do you assess this as a situation?
See, assessment always, as I commonly do, is going kind of go to the natural environment of that animal, that is the animal's house, and see how is he interacting in that environment.
Okay.
Also, is how the humans are responding to it.
To his behavior.
Was his behavior,
Okay.
exactly. So when I walked into their house, it was very evident from the moment I entered their house, dog was ruling the house. Okay. They had given him so much of love and affection. Basically, the boundaries were not set in place. So, technically, summarizing the whole session in a Hindi language is "Maa ka ladla bigad gaya."
Oh yes, okay. Too much of pampering.
Too much of pampering.
Okay.
Becoming a spoiled kid. Now, spoiled kid, all this, as I said time and again, is a human terminology. What has happened is that you have got a dog which is behaving more and more like a wild dog. That's where we have a problem. Okay. And one of the concept what you need to understand with animals or dogs especially is that as they start growing up, they basically try to pick up place in the hierarchy. And in their house, he's getting more and more dominant. And one way he does is by dominating space in the house. So he was actually getting dominant in the space, which kind of raised my alarm bell because it was a medium big size dog. If it continues like that, in some time, the owners will not be able to handle it. One thing I was sitting here and thinking because of after doing so much of interviews with my past clients and stuff. So one beautiful thing I realized is I actually witness the change of a person, like from where we start to where we are. So that transition is beautiful to watch.
Yes.
From a person who was really scared of dogs.
Yes.
This was my first session with her. From there to reach a stage where no, I want to fix this. I'm not going to give up. He has to listen to me and get these things sorted. That's a huge transition as a person in Tulika.
Wow.
Like a lot of people won't go down that.
They will
road.
give up.
They'll give up,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
So for her family, she taking up that challenge. No, I'm going to stop being scared of dogs. Kobe is my dog, my house, my rules, my dog. So that was a huge transition. Okay. My initial challenge was to help her understand that. Because unfortunately, the environment which we live with, the social media which we can, they basically give us an entirely different picture of a dog.
Okay.
Right? So when people kind of face these realities, they struggle big time. They are frustrated, they don't know what's happening, this is not what they signed up for, clueless, they are so much in love with the animal, they don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
So it's basically a bad mess which I'm walking into.
So this you realized right when you entered.
Yes.
What was the first thing that came into your mind that this is the first thing that I need to fix? Something?
The first thing was Kobe needs to know his space.
Need to?
Know his space.
Know his space.
Because as I do in space training, it's dog space, human space, how to behave in a human space. That cannot be achieved unless you give a dog space.
So you were referring to?
So in their lifestyle, crate was the best option. Keeping their lifestyle in, because options are plenty.
Okay.
I need to understand their lifestyle and give something that works for them. So I offered them start with crate training, basically have a demarcation between human space and dog space. When a dog comes to a human space, he has to be on rules. He has to be guided how to be on rules. So those steps have been taken before you kind of start anything else, any work with them. So that was my first stage, and maybe after second session, Tulika started getting hang of it. Yeah, of course, we kind of we go at it like crazy. So the thing is, but the thing which a fact I like about her is she basically made that decision, and then she started seeing transitions, slowly, step by step. It's just a simple technique where we taught the dog what the dog is supposed to do, then correcting the incidents which he's doing later.
Okay, so was that your suggestion to get a crate, or it was like get a crate?
No, see, I always suggest.
Okay.
It's up to you. See, if you tell me, okay, fine, I don't like crate, then we have to absolutely will not accept crate. Okay, because a lot of people don't like crate because they don't understand the concept behind it.
Okay.
So I have clients who tie up their dog. I told, if you're tying up the dog, why don't you use a crate?
Yeah.
It's a concept the same.
Yes.
But for them, crate is something like a mental barrier. So it depends upon what the client's lifestyle is. So I had to do a lot of convincing and everything, speak to her and all that. But once that transition happened, crate came in, she understand the concept. Slowly, you could see changes in it.
Okay. What was your initial thought of getting a crate? What did you buy into that thought, or you also had this apprehension that why do I put my pet into a prison?
So day I got Kobe, I got a crate also.
Okay.
That has been suggested by my friend also, that get a crate, that will make your life easy. But I don't know how to train him to be in the crate. So that crate was like a medium-sized crate when he was,
pup.
a 3 months
Yeah.
old puppy. So when he was like a year old, that was not apt for him. So when Buddha told me, and that time I wanted to work on it because I saw that it's going to have a issue in the future. The kind of Kobe we are, as a first time pet owner, especially for me, I can say for myself, my children were still okay, and they were like more about 1 hour playing with him, and that's okay. For me, it is like
A
the
full
whole
day
day.
thing,
And I do have people coming in and go, right? And not just my friends, but other than that also. And I saw the challenge actually with Kobe, that he was not all the time. Sometimes he was like not okay with people. Not okay means, as
yeah,
would
I know.
always say, it's my feeling that he was not okay. But yeah, so I saw the challenge and I wanted to work out in a way, and I just rely on what he said. He told me I got as great as possible, so that
Okay.
he
can
can
fit
feel,
in.
but fit in, no, but he will feel the freedom and all.
Okay.
That was in my mind. But it was a challenge, John. I'll tell you. Initial, I think I used to call Buddha every single day.
Wow.
Because he was actually reacting to it. He was making noise. He was crying, and he used to tell me, just ignore him. I said, how can I ignore him? Well, just ignore him for some time. Just ignore him for a day and two. It is about the training. So that part, and I told Buddha that. I really connect with it, what he did with Kobe in terms of training, especially with me, because as a life coach also, for me to have the awareness is extremely important.
Yes.
Are you aware of the real situation, real scenarios? For me, I was not,
Okay.
because the dog was new to me.
Yeah.
And just awareness is not going to work. You have to accept it, that he is a dog, right?
Correct.
So to treat him that way, he's not my baby. So that also took a time for me. It was a process. And I think before me, my children and my husband actually understood it. And that's the reason I had a lot of discussion with Buddha. I challenged him many times.
Really? So Tulika seems to be a difficult client for you.
Initially, it was.
Okay.
It took some time for her to turn around.
Okay.
But once she started seeing it, she kind of understanding the concept. See, one problem which I face in my work is that people start focusing on the tools and techniques which I give you, and they
Okay.
forget the concept. So you will not get the result. Okay, so tools, I have 110 tools to train a dog. Every trainer has his own method of training a
Correct.
dog. So it's about you getting the concept, right? So that took some while for me to to get into that board. But after once she kind of switched, it was easy.
Okay. So the crate thing was the first step, as you said.
Yeah.
And you went ahead and
Yeah.
got a crate as
Yeah.
well. Did that help in any
Oh
way?
my God. That has changed my life even today.
Change your life?
So,
Okay, that's a big
just-
statement.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's absolutely changed our life as a family. For example, this morning, we have a trainer, yoga trainer, who is not very comfortable with the dog.
Okay.
And she just come for an hour. If I'll make that whole process, the 10 minutes, 20 minutes goes that. And it's like he comes thrice in a week. So, Kobe, now he knows, but the crate has changed that, because when she was coming for the first time, I put him on the crate. When she came, now it's my rule, it's my decision. If I want you to meet, if it's not, I want you to meet, but you're not supposed to meet everyone who's come to me to our house.
Okay.
Kobe barked a couple of times, and then he knows that someone is there and they're doing their job or whatever, and then he was okay, and absolutely he slept. So normally
okay.
that ease both our lives. In terms of, even for Kobe, he knows, like he mentioned, he knows his space. He knows the boundaries where all he can go and all. So those crate training has really helped us to make him understand his space, his boundary. And yeah, I think that has a huge impact on what the way actually we are
Great.
living right now as a family in terms of it. Yes.
Great. Once I can see this, once the dog's calmed down, personally, correct me if I'm wrong, once the dog is calmed down, then it's a little more easier to take him through the next steps. Now it's not barking or trying to approach every guest that's coming to the house. He knows his space, he's comfortable sitting inside the crate. What was next?
Before we go into what is next, let's understand why does a dog calm down. Okay, a lot of people don't put much thought process into it, but that's a serious point which you need to understand, because when a dog is hyper or anxious, or what I say in explore mode, their basically senses are like this. Okay, so there now a dog's senses are, you're talking something like 3 to 4 times of us. Sense of smell, sense of sound, sense of vision, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So their brain is like this. Oh, I hear something. Somebody's coming. What is there?
I see something. I hear
His brain is basically triggering to every sense that he gets, because he's a wild animal.
Correct.
Right? So when the enemy of hyperness and anxiety is focus. So what happens when you bring that dog with an explore mindset to an engaged mindset, your dog is engaged with you. So his brain starts focusing on you, which automatically calms him down, because he's not responding to his instincts. He's just following you as what instructions have been coming from you. And the dogs which are not very confident temperament dogs, they immediately realize, oh, this is much more easier of my life. I don't need to react and respond to things.
To everything, yes.
Yeah, I can just follow my human. I'm happy. My life is happy. Right? So that's what is the biggest change which comes in. Then is once that starts coming in, where a dog's brain is engaged with you, is ready to respond to your instructions or guidance, then you integrate him to the lifestyle which he belongs.
Okay.
So you tell him, this is the household, this is the lifestyle, these are the routines and patterns follow in this house. You have to be part of it. You cannot lead, you need to follow them.
Okay.
Okay. A common example which I tell people about space training is that I'm entering a house. It's an aggressive dog. Actually, in her house, the dog came bolting towards me when I entered the house. Okay. But her kids were well behaved sitting on the chair.
Yeah. So why this difference?
Why this? Because the kids have been tamed to live in a human society where they know, okay, my job is to do this. When no matter guest comes in, if I'm sitting down, I'll just sit on the couch. Whereas your dog is there who's sniffing around the house, trying to find his next stimulus, then you expect the dog to behave when the guest comes in. Not going to happen.
No, not possible. Yes.
Right? So that's where you integrate the animal into these daily routines. Okay, I'm here, your job is to sit down. And this becomes more important if you have a powerful breed, a medium, big size dog,
Yes.
because those dogs, by their sheer size, can cause damage.
Yes.
Like even if a super friendly dog, which is 40 kilo, runs and jumps on a human,
That's it.
that's it. Right? So if you're walking him and he pulls, I have went to sessions where dog has pulled the lady halfway across the street because he saw a cat.
It happened with me, by the way.
Yeah, she also felt that. I remember that.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that brings me to a very interesting question. Now I want to know, how large is your dog now? Because as the vet said, this is going to be a large dog. So how large is he now?
So he's 30 kgs, but he's much lighter than when he was 12 kgs because of the training. I can just put it in that way.
Okay.
So for me, I can handle Kobe. He's 30 kgs. He's a large dog, but he listens to me.
Okay.
He listens to me now, so it feels lighter.
Yeah.
When he was just 20 kg and he was like all over the places, and that time actually he pulled me, and I was also sliding all through
my
the
God.
road. So that time it was more difficult for me because as Buddha said, and I absolutely agree what Buddha is saying, that it was and I told them also, I mean, I told Buddha also, I don't think so. You should change your name. You are not a dog trainer. You are actually training humans. Because after a couple of sessions, I actually asked question, are you gonna train him? I
for
do
something
something
at
for
least.
him also, or you're just training me? And then he smiled and said that he doesn't need training.
Training.
You need training
Yes.
how to
How to handle him.
yeah.
Okay. That's nice. So now, when you just mentioned that, when he was 20 kgs but not trained, it was more difficult
Yes.
than now he's 30 kgs
Yeah.
but now trained.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you on this. I remember one of our discussions, you mentioned that walking the dog is not the game of strength because the animal is anyway far more powerful than you are. So again, reiterating that fact that, it's about how engaged both of them are. Does that take precedence over strength?
Animal training is not about strength. Let's completely rule that part out. Even
Okay.
when I work with small dogs, small breeds like Maltese and all that, I tell people, see, if you're using strength, technically I'm not needed. So
Yeah.
small dogs you can manage with strength, but
Yes.
if you're using that, so there's not much role for me there. You're using strength, right? So, for example, now walking the dog, there is never a concept called walking the dog. The concept is you are going for a walk, your dog is supposed to follow you.
Follow you.
If you're walking the dog, that is, dog is leading, dog is taking you somewhere, then dog will scan, sense, lock and respond. And we end up focusing on the response. We have to work on scanning. And if people who do horse riding perfectly understand this principle, because when you sit on a horse, you guide the horse where the horse is supposed to go. You don't go where the horse is supposed to go and then try to correct it. No, it's a concept where you guide the horse which direction horse has to go, and from there you develop it. Same concept goes with the dog. It's not about strength. Your leash should be loose. Your dog should be part of your team, walking by your side, which is not a rocket science. It's a very simple 3 P's: patience, patterns, and persistence. Implement this, any dog will change. Any age of a dog will change. So it was just that communicating that concept. Once they start getting the concept, rest of the journey was easy, because that applies for everything in the house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say that, I'm sure our viewers also would agree that strength coming into the play when it's a pet is not as powerful as how you can read the behavior and mind and get engaged with the pet. Again, I think every episode that we speak to pet owners, this fact gets reinstated. In every case, it can be walking the dog, or it can be the behavior, or it can be barking, or it can be anything. The one thing is strength doesn't play a role as much as your behavior with or your engagement with the dog is. So I think
I would answer to that actually. I mean, in my house only I and my husband, we both take him for a walk. So my husband is more disciplined than me compared to him. Sorry about that, but yeah, that's how it is. So Kobe follows him absolutely, and with him he takes chances actually. With me evenings he has his own side to go sometimes actually. So he tries to pull me, but it's a huge difference. Initially, actually, I was following Kobe when we got him, and initially when I was taking him for a walk. But today, if I say no, and then he follows me back. But he still takes chances with me, because I think, as you mentioned, Maka Lada, because still he feels like
I'm pampered.
Yeah.
If I pull that side, maybe I can go
But
there.
with my husband, he never take that chances also, because he knows that here he has to follow absolutely. So what he's saying is a very, very strong phenomena that does the dog knows that whom to follow and not to use their own brain is very powerful. In my case, I think I'm still in work in progress.
So if I may ask you now, after the training's done and you're comfortably walking the dog now, how will you rate your fear of dogs on a scale of 1 to 10, which was 10 earlier, I believe?
Oh yeah, more than 10. With Kobe, I'm absolutely, obviously, with Kobe, I have no fear at all.
zero.
Is absolutely. I
Wow.
mean, with Kobe,
Okay.
there is no fear for sure. With other dogs, I don't like other dogs
Yeah,
that much
okay.
as
So
much as
that's
I like
as
Kobe.
in because it's not familiar animal.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm comfortable, but I won't be as comfortable with
As
the
Kobe.
big dogs.
Okay.
Even today, I mean, I can't be like 100 dogs and I'll be alone. No, I won't be that comfortable. Yeah.
Building on that, as in you now are zero fear with Kobe.
Yeah.
How would how was the entire experience? Right from that day when you picked up Kobe from a place where you did not even know its breed to now that you are not afraid at all and you're walking him happily. How was that entire experience?
Our life changes, and I think it's not. I mean, that is absolutely true. For me, I understood that. I mean, I really feel me being a life coach where I'm today and understanding that how important is the consistency and your commitment to a process is my journey with Kobe. It's a true testament of that. I mean, you need to be patient. You have to be committed to your process, and you just need to follow the professionals what they're saying. I
True.
mean, don't use too much of your mind, and
Yes.
especially the Google and your what others are saying. Even today, I don't know if I've mentioned him. Even today, the guest comes and say, no, we are absolutely perfect. We are fine. We are dog lovers. I said, absolutely fine. My dog is not that way. We have a process to follow.
Okay.
So it came along after. I mean, we were also like, because we were not that confident about that how the process work. So we were not sounding that confident. But today I can say that to anyone, and it doesn't matter what others thinks of how we deals with a dog, because for us, we know our dog. Our trainer has told me that this is how it is you're supposed to deal with, and we are still in the process. And at the same time, for us, Kobe's well-being and his safety is much more important than anything else.
Of course.
And at the same time, what I felt is any bad experience, if it happens, it just not happen with the human. It happens with the animal also, and
Correct.
that changes their behavior.
Yes.
And we don't want, knowing Kobe, that we have adopted him, and then he also has gone through, as I said, that we were the first time pet owner. So we also don't want it more, any bad experience or anything
Yeah.
to Kobe.
You
it's
also want Kobe to have a smooth and peaceful life.
Yeah.
Because you're the first time pet owners, that should not affect his.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Great. But I'm happy to say that, I'm happy to feel that you are now very comfortable and that fear of animals or fear of dog has kind of gone away. I would say a big thanks to you and your behavioral changes. As she keeps complaining, it's not to the animal. Most of the training was to her. All right. But Tulika, with that, I would say thank you so much for your time. It was really enlightening to know how a first time pet owner feels and changes the entire lifestyle to fit that poor animal into your family. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure our viewers are going to love this.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. It was an absolute pleasure, and definitely it would haven't possible without the trainers, and they are really doing amazing job.
Great.
I did question him a lot, but I did came back to him knowing the fact that he knows his work well.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, huge thank you for that, Buddha. And yeah, I mean, I feel that today, if I am whatever I am today, be it as a comfortable pet owner and also the kind of dog I have, a big size dog, I think it wouldn't have possible without having the awareness what they are actually doing it. It's not just about how to handle it, but to know that how an animal also works actually. I mean, is
Getting
it
into the psyche of an animal, huh?
still getting into that, but yeah.
All right. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
once
much.
again. All right. So I'm sure that was interesting to you as well. I always wanted to hear from a first time pet owner, and that's luckily happened in this episode. It's slightly different. It's very heartwarming that, the commitment that first time pet owners have towards making sure that come what may, I stand by this pet. I make sure that this pet feels home in my place is commendable. I'm sure you guys may be thinking of getting a pet as a first pet owner. This episode's definitely going to help you. So thank you so much for being here, listening to this episode. If you've not subscribed till now, make sure you go hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned till we see you next Friday. Till then, have a beautiful relationship with your pet. You're with Pet Talk with Buddha.